Hey everybody, let's start with a writing class today. Today we are going to discuss about the structures that has to be used for essays. Well, a lot of people have a lot of misconception about it, so I thought I'd redo this class, help people understand where they go wrong. So there are two types of structures, two kinds of structures. Pay more attention. This class is little tricky. One type of structure, okay, type number one. This is for the overall essay. If you look at the essay from a distance, you are here, this is the essay. What you see, that is one structure. First paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, fourth paragraph. That is one. And then type two was one more structure. Inside each paragraph. Inside each para, how the structure should be. So both of them we will discuss. Say overall essay structure, most of the people are aware of. This is where people don't have enough knowledge. Rather, people have misconceptions because of the media influence. YouTube video, some guy will say something, they get confused. So today we will discuss the proven things, because 2 days ago, Ritika Chauhan got 7.5 writing, and many people are getting 7, 7.5 and 8. The same structure is what I'm going to show you next. For the next 1 hour, we will talk about different essay types and the structure within the essay and the structure within the paragraph. And we also talk about the mistakes. Even after putting all the efforts, where do I go wrong? All right, everything needs a structure. Structure within a structure, within a structure, within a structure, and so on. Correct. So yeah, Ramesh is also there. I think sadly he got 6.5 in one module, I think reading. He also got 7. He's right over there. We will just unmute him. Ramesh, you okay to speak? You can unmute Ramesh. I'm going to make him speak so that people still have misconception. They will not blindly believe whatever I say. Hey Ramesh, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi Nakul. Am I audible?
Yes, Ramesh. Ramesh, you got 7 2 days ago, right? 3 days ago.
Yes, Nakul.
Yeah.
A week before I appeared for the exam, I got 7 in writing.
So did you use any hi-fi vocabulary?
No, not at all, Nakul.
Not
Even
at all.
I did not learn any new words. I just used the very basic and simple English, what we use like while speaking.
Correct. So what he's saying is, Nakul, I did not use any hi-fi words, basic English, but that basic should be correct. And his basic English was correct. And you focused only on the ideas and coherence cohesion, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Exactly. Thanks much for your time, Ramesh. So the coherence cohesion is the structure we are talking about. There are 4 modules: task, response, for which you will be evaluated for task, response, coherence, cohesion, grammar, vocabulary. I did not tell him to use or consider this vocabulary. We did not even teach people. We do not even teach people because it's not required. You want 8 vocabularies. You want 7, 7.5, not required. Grammar, basic grammar. Madhu is there. Madhu is not there. So one of the students, Madhu, yesterday he sent an essay. Excellent English. Perfect English, but there are no simple sentences. Every sentence is 3-4 lines. So as a reader, while I was reading, I was going really crazy, understanding what the person is trying to say. Simple sentences people are not writing, because in YouTube, some guy told you use different kinds of sentences, big sentences, you will get the marks. No. If you write something, a reader should easily understand. And that's what Ramesh told. I mean, like Ramesh did. Grammar, very simple, and 1 or 2 complex sentences. Most of them are normal sentences. But task, response, and coherence cohesion is where people go wrong. Task response is the ideas. Coherence cohesion is the structure. That structuring is what we are going to discuss today. Any question? You can follow this 4-step structure. Can I use 5-step structure? Who is stopping? You see, there is nothing like, okay, this is correct, this is wrong. There is nothing like that. IELTS people, the IDP or the Cambridge, they have not specified anything. Whatever that sounds logical, go with it. I repeat, whatever that sounds logical, rational, go with it. So now, whenever you write an essay, one introduction, to justify your points, body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, and conclusion. Can I use body paragraph 3? Who is stopping? You can use, but the more you write, the more mistakes you make. So it's not required. One intro, some small number of sentences, 2 to 3 sentences. Body paragraph 1, some 5, 6 sentences. Body paragraph 2, some 5, 6 sentences. Then whatever you have written here, summarize. Conclusion is very simple. Whatever you wrote in body 1 and body 2, para 2 and para 3. In the para 4, you summarize. Means here you wrote 10 sentences together, that you will summarize in 2 sentences. That's all the conclusion is. So where is the marks going? Here. So what structure that has to be used? Inside body 1, inside body 2. That is the trickiest part. Fine, we will continue. But problem is within body 1 and body 2 because nobody cares about the structure. The other day, Anmol, she got 7. She told me the question and her answer. She was supposed to compare between the two. She did not compare. I told she'll get 6.5, but she got 7. Because the structure was perfect. Coherence quotient was precise. Still, she ended up getting 7. So structures make a lot of sense. They mean a lot. I'm telling you, structure is the one that gets you the mark. So let's start with this question. It is too expensive to look after and repair. What? Old buildings. Highlight the keywords whenever you read a question. Repair and look after old buildings. This money should be spent on building modern buildings. The old buildings, you don't keep on renovating it, keep on spending money. No, it's of no use. Rather collapse it and build a new one. To what extent do you agree? Okay, the question, this is the question. To what extent do you agree? This is the topic sentence. Pay more attention. It's not very straightforward. To what extent do you agree? Do you agree it can come? It can just come to you. Sorry, the question can come as, do you agree or disagree? One kind of question. Other kind of question, to what extent do you agree? These are all opinion based. You are giving your opinion. Okay, so to what extent do you agree? Other question, do you agree, disagree? To what extent do you agree? Do you agree, disagree? Both are different types. So we'll understand. Let's go with this question now. Do you agree or disagree? You cannot say, I agree and disagree. Second paragraph, I agree. Third paragraph, I write the opposite, 5.5. It's or is there. Do you like this or you like this? I like both. No, one of them only you're supposed to write. So here you're supposed to write either you agree or disagree. So in the intro, people write so many things in the intro, not required. Can I rewrite the same statement? You are supposed to, yes. It is exorbitantly pricey to renovate old buildings. And some people believe this money should be rather spent on renovating or constructing new buildings. That's all. I just changed the modern to new, building to constructed. Hardly 30 seconds I'll take to write an intro. What is required in the intro? This. Please pay more attention. It's not a very easy thing. This, if you don't say, then no marks. What they're looking in the introduction. Yes, Nakul, I will write, I will paraphrase that. This, no. Your introduction should only tell the reader that what you're going to talk next. I'm giving a brief introduction about what I'm going to talk next. I agree. I completely agree or I completely disagree. This is what is most important, not these things. Okay, in the introduction, I said I agree. Body 1, you write why you agree. Body 2, write why you agree. Pay more attention because here you said agree, then second paragraph also you should agree, third paragraph also you should agree. Conclusion, whatever you wrote on body 1 and body 2, just summarize. Kohinoor, sir, do you no need to write any general line? Not required. It's not going to give you mark. Then why you want to write? There is no mark for that. Okay, not required. Okay, now there's a question. You read the question here. Guess the topic sentence. Read A, read B, read C. Only one of them is correct. Read the topic sentence. You're agreeing, or you're agreeing for A, or you're agreeing for B, or you're agreeing for C. Think, read, and answer. I'm perfect. Think and answer. Read the question. Read the question. Take your time. If you want help, let me know. Very good, Dharmesh. Very good answer. Read the question. How about others? Hema, Jasmine, Kavita, Koinur. No, Koinur. C, A or B or C. I want A or B or C. Quickly, guys. Kumar, Ramesh. Very good, right? Very good, Sunil. Very good, Kumar. So hope you're getting it. So no, Jasmine. Okay, she says not A, not B, not C. Okay, we will see. So now let's read the question. It is too expensive to look after and repair old buildings. This money should be spent on building modern buildings instead. Do you agree? When you agree, you're agreeing for the entire question. You're not agreeing for money should be spent on modern buildings. No. You're not agreeing on money should not be spent on repairing old buildings. No. You're agreeing on money should not be spent on old buildings. Rather, it should be spent on modern buildings. This is what you're agreeing on. Let's read C. Advantages of building modern building over repairing old building. This is not exactly correct, but over A and B, C is more relevant to the question. Hope you're getting it. Again, I don't mind repeating. If you agree, you're agreeing for the entire question. That means in your essay, body 1, you have to write why you agree that looking after and repairing old buildings is very expensive. So rather it should be spent, the money should be spent on building new buildings. This is the entire thing you have to agree in the body 1. If you just write why looking after and repairing old buildings are expensive, and if you don't consider this, no marks. Hope you are getting it. This is a task response mistake. So it's not exactly A, B, or C, but closely C is more related. Jasmine, hope you agree. Fine. So now we know the topic sentence. You're agreeing for the entire thing. Now let's go with more about it. Topic sentences: the money to be spent on renovation, the money to be spent on renovation, the money which is to be spent on renovation should be rather spent on modern buildings. Not C exactly, but close to what we wrote in this. Yes, Ansu, you have to compare and write between the two. All right, so this is the topic sentence. Now body paragraph 1, you have to write why you agree that money should be spent on renovation, and money to be spent on renovation should be rather spent on modern buildings. Body paragraph 2, also you should say why the money to be spent on renovating old buildings should be rather spent on constructing the new buildings. Both of them should talk about the same thing. Hope you are getting it. So now let's talk about body 1. Main idea. Why it is so expensive to renovate. Write one problem. Support it with solution of the new building. Give example. Both the things you have to write. The question is old buildings you don't renovate. Rather that money you put it to building new building, constructing new building. So old building you say why it is very expensive to renovate, and then come up with a solution with a new building, and hence money should not be spent to renovate the old building. Rather, it should be spent to construct a new building. This should be your structure. Now within body 1, we got one more structure. One main idea, some supporting points, example, conclusion. Hope you are getting it. Don't get confused. This is something important. Body 2, same thing, but with a different idea. Why it is so expensive to renovate. Write one more flaw. Support it and give a solution how this can be fixed by building a new building. Give example. One main idea, some supporting ideas, and example, conclusion. Hope you're getting it. This is the structure, proven structure you use. You should be able to get a good score. Where do we go wrong? This is mistake. Body 1, old buildings do not reflect the innovation. So don't have to spend money on the old buildings. Rather, you invest in the new buildings. Why it is wrong? Anybody? Why this is wrong? The question is, it is very expensive to renovate the old buildings. Rather, this money should be spent on constructing new buildings. Excellent answer. Why this is wrong? So this is mistake. This will give you 6.5. No, Shiva, comparison is there? No. Old buildings, new building. Excellent. Who is Kohinoor, by the way? Is it Jasdeep Palia? Pay more attention. The question is, all right, Jasdeep, very good. Read the question. It is too expensive to repair old buildings. You have to talk about how expensive it is, because you're agreeing. Yeah, it is very expensive to construct or renovate old buildings. So same money you put to construct new buildings. You're agreeing on that. And then you're talking about old buildings are not innovative. Zero. I'm telling you 5.5. Be very careful. You only have to talk about expensive. That's the reason I'm telling you, highlight the words, keywords. Modern buildings instead. Whenever you write some idea, it has to encompass all these things. Otherwise, you don't get marks. So here, main idea, if you write old buildings do not reflect the innovation. No, you have to say renovating old buildings is expensive only. Otherwise, you don't get marks. This is where people go wrong. It's not hi-fi grammar, hi-fi vocab. Use this 10 words to get 7, 8, proven, all are fake. 100%. Hope you're getting it. So you have to talk about the question. Great. Now we come to what extent. Hope you're getting it. We discussed, do you agree, disagree? When you have an option to say agree or disagree, only one of them you have to write. Yes, I agree, or no, I disagree. And whatever you say here, same things has to be written in body 1 and body 2 together. In body 1 also you say agree, body 2 also you say agree, or body 1 also you say disagree, body 2 also you disagree. But when you go with to what extent you agree, if the question is to what extent do you agree or disagree, now you have another option. Option number 1, yes, I completely agree. Then body 1, you say why you agree. Body 2, you say why you agree. Option number 2, you can say I disagree. Body 1, you say why you disagree. Body 2, you say why you disagree. Partially agree. I agree to some extent. That means in the other to other extent I disagree. Right? Why you agree to the topic sentence, right? Why you disagree to the topic sentence for partially agree. This is another option you get if the question is to what extent. That means you can write on both the sides. I think yes, it is very expensive to look after and repair old buildings. So that money you put on constructing new buildings. Agree to the topic sentence. I disagree to the topic sentence. It is very expensive to look after. No, it is not at all expensive. In fact, constructing a new building is expensive. Old buildings, you have this technology. It is not expensive. So don't do this. You're disagreeing. Ideas we will see. And conclusion, summarize the body 1, summarize body 2, finish it off. And I suggest whenever you say you have to what extent agree, always go with partially agree, so that you get two different things to talk about. Correct? Yes, you can write, but not required. One agree point is more than enough. Just so now I'm showing you to what extent do you agree. Same thing here. Why it is so expensive? Give some supporting idea and say this can be fixed by constructing a new building, and give example, conclusion. I completely agree, but I disagree also sometimes. Why? Sometimes it is not expensive at all, and give a building and say it is almost same as building a new one. So you don't have to build a new one, old one only you can construct. Or you can also say why sometimes we cannot think of. See, when you say disagree, you disagree that it is not expensive to build. You disagree for the entire statement. So you can say it is not about expensive thing at all. It's about something more. Old buildings reflect this. So yes, money should be spent on old buildings. Don't have to think about constructing a new one. Logically, whatever is correct, you can go. This is also correct. But yes, body 2, you just go with this, more relevant, why it is not expensive at all. And hence you don't have to think about constructing new building rather than spending on the older ones. Older ones only you construct. We agreed, we disagree. Is there any other way to write partially agree? I didn't get you. This is the way to write the partially agreement. All right, fine. Any doubts so far? Let me know. Okay, so now we'll go a little quicker. I'm just moving on to a next one because I have 34 slides today. I have to finish it within an hour. Flight travel is gaining popularity these days. Discuss the advantage, disadvantage. Oh, this says people have a lot of confusion. How many advantages should we write? All these things don't matter. Understand. What matters is how are you writing the advantages? I wrote 5 advantages. You will get 5.5 only. It's not about writing many advantages. Flight travel is gaining popularity these days. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of flight travel. Okay, we have to talk about some advantages, some disadvantages. First paragraph. Intro is very easy. Traveling by air is procuring a lot of popularity these days. In this essay, or it has both advantages and disadvantages. In this essay will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of traveling by flight. Intro done. Don't spend a lot on the intro. You can count on me. You can trust me for this. No marks will be given. But I need is this essay will discuss advantage, disadvantage. That's all. Structure. Body 1, second paragraph. Write some advantages. Body 2, write some disadvantages. Here 5 sentences you have written. Here 5 sentences you have written. Here in 2 sentences you just summarize them. Conclusion and intro is nothing. It's very easy. Body 1 and body 2 is where you will lose and you will get marks. Okay, so now body 1. One advantage I wrote of flight travel. Can anyone tell me what is the advantage of a flight travel? We will reach very later. What is the advantage? We reach the time travel can be saved. Supporting idea. You continue, don't write in one line. Continue. Supporting idea 2 examples, some 4 to 5 sentences you have to write. Is that enough? Actually enough. If you want to write one more advantage, then be ready to write another advantage with some supporting idea. If this is missing, coherence and cohesion will be gone. If coherence and cohesion is not good, task response also goes, it will not be valid. Then you end up getting less marks. Whatever you write, you need to follow the structure. One main idea, some supporting ideas, example, conclusion. Body 2, write one disadvantage, some supporting. And optional, you want to write one more disadvantage. This is for 8 or 7.5 if you need. For 7, one advantage is enough. But support it. Optional, if you want, you can write one more disadvantage. Any doubts so far? This is a mistake. 1 advantage, 2 advantage, 3 advantage. 3 lines I wrote, man. 5 advantages I wrote in 5 lines. No mark. Your advantage is valid only when you support it. If you're not supporting it, no mark. All ideas be with examples. Yes, example means supporting ideas. It's example is not about example. Supporting 2 idea can be an example. If you see why am I giving, see there is nothing like a compulsory thing that I have to give examples. No. But if I don't, if I tell you that example is not required, you try to think about how to write supporting idea too. One line you wrote, this is because you wrote a supporting idea. Now you don't know what to write. But if I tell you, I give example, it becomes easy for a mind to continue the flow. So I'm telling you example. Example is not mandatory. I want you to support it. The easiest way to support it is through an example. Hope you're getting Neha. The idea of the rationale behind asking people to write example, it becomes easy for them. Example, for example, you don't have, I did not write this, I got 8. It's not mandatory, but support it. How you support it, you decide. One supporting idea here, it is less time consuming. This is because this is very fast. It can accommodate a lot of people. It can travel across, don't have to follow the path. Now continue, how to say. Difficult. For example, then you compare whatever you want to say. Writing example becomes more easier. Example is considered in supporting idea only. All right. So now mistakes. One advantage, one line. Second advantage, second line. Third advantage, third line. No marks. Coherence cohesion is wrong. And if coherence cohesion is not getting marks, your ideas are not justified. Ideas will not get any mark. That means task response also goes down. If task response is gone case, then no marks. Don't even expect 7. Minimum 6.5 is the least you can get. On top of that, if you have basic grammar mistakes, this becomes 6. On top of that, if you have the basic also is completely bad grammar, if you're written, then 5.5, then 4.5. It decreases. With a wrong idea, the least you can get is 6.5, not 7. Always remember this. Sorry. So now we will talk about this question. Do the advantage outweigh the disadvantage? Flight travel is gaining popularity these days. Does this have more advantages or disadvantages? This is same as advantage outweigh disadvantage question. Pay more attention. This is English. More advantages than disadvantages. More is always more than. I have got more than what you have got. More than means comparison. Does this have more advantages than disadvantages, or does this have more disadvantages than advantages? Do the advantage outweigh disadvantage? Same question. Outweigh means this. There are more advantages than disadvantages, or there are more disadvantages than advantages. Same as does this have more advantages or disadvantages? What people think, or they see and they think, oh, agree or disagree. Agree or disagree. Nakul told you either agree or disagree. Here, let me write advantages or disadvantages. Gone case. More is the word. It's the same question. Outweigh means, yeah, it has more advantages and less disadvantages. Now you should write more advantages, less disadvantages, or write one advantage, one disadvantage only. But when you put that advantage on a weighing machine, it should weigh more. Sorry, it should weigh more. That means write something which is a massive advantage. Disadvantage, which is not weighing more. 5 kg of disadvantage you write, advantage should weigh 500 kg. One advantage only, more than enough. Or if your mind is not letting you understand this, letting you accept this, because you watch so many YouTube channel, someone are told 3 advantages you write, 1 disadvantage you write, that also will give you marks. But this is a weighing machine. Pay more attention. You wrote 3 disadvantages, 1 disadvantage, but you wrote 1 disadvantage which is very costly. This is weighing 500 kg. These 3 advantages put together is weighing 20 kg. Then you cannot say advantage outweigh disadvantage. Understand, be more conscious to what I'm telling you. Hope you're getting it. It's not the number of advantages or the number of disadvantages. It is the impact, what impact the advantage has or what impact the disadvantage has. So write some massive advantages over some weak disadvantages, then this will work. Yes, you can write that, Coiner. All right. So one, okay, introduction. You have to say whether they outweigh or not. If you don't say, you will definitely get 6.5. In the intro, you have to say that. If you say yes, advantages outweigh disadvantage. This is more weight. This is less weight. Then you talk about 2 advantages, 1 disadvantage. But make sure you write some massive advantages. Don't write very silly advantages and impactful disadvantage. And in the opinion, in the beginning, you say pros will outweigh the cons. You cannot do that. And conclusion, same thing, whatever you wrote. Here are some 6-7 sentences you would have written. Here are some 5 sentences. This entire thing you should summarize in 2 sentences. Very simple. Okay. That's what, this is what I've written. Write something which has amazing benefits. Write something which is a very weak advantage. Then only you can say they outweigh. Otherwise, you cannot say they outweigh. Any doubts? All right. Pay more attention to these questions. So this is where your reading skill come into picture. What is a reading skill? Anybody? Nakul, don't ask these silly questions. There's something very important to this. What is a reading skill? Reading skill is not a cognitive skill. Cognition, Ramesh, is related to memory. You have to understand what is written. You have to understand beyond. Deduce what is written. Try to understand. Flight travel is gaining popularity these days. Discuss the advantages outweigh. Do the advantages outweigh disadvantage of flight travel? So for this, you will write the advantages of going in a flight, disadvantages of going in a flight. Can anyone give me an advantage of going in a flight? Time saving. Another advantage of going in a flight. Comfortable travel, convenient, flexibility, faster the other. All right. Can anyone write one disadvantage of flight travel? Exorbitant prices, man. Especially this make my trip and go EBO. I want to sue them all. I will be just checking, and the next day I check, the prices have completely gone up. Expensive. Great. Very simple question. Flight travel is gaining popularity these days. Do the advantages outweigh disadvantages of what? Anybody? See here of flight travel. Here it's not given. What is the advantage and disadvantage for this question? What we have to write? No, Ramesh. Of what? Can anyone complete this? Excellent, Ansuya. So this is what separates from people who get 7 or 7.5 and 8 to people who get 6, 6.5 or 5.5. Amu wrong. Excellent, Jasmine. Give it a thought. That's exactly what I told in the beginning. Reading skill. Nope, Shiva. Others, I want every one of you to type, please. Rasika, Madhu, you joined late. I already explained people about you, I think. I was telling them every sentence is beautifully crafted, written, but there was no simple sentence. I even searched your name, probably you joined late. You can watch the recording later. Can anyone complete this? Do the advantages outweigh disadvantages of what? Neha, perfect. Sunil, perfect. Rami is correct. Amu, nope. Perfect, right? Nope, Dharmesh. So now let's understand. Topic sentence is this. And when there is no relevance to the topic sentence, do the advantages of this topic sentence outweigh the disadvantages of this topic sentence? To the advantage of entire statement, something is gaining popularity. Flight travel is gaining a lot of popularity. What is the advantage if flight travel gains the popularity? What is the advantage if traveling by flight is very popular? That is what you have to write. Most people will travel by air. What is the advantage, Ansuya? If everyone starts traveling by air, that is what you should write. Don't travel the advantages of flight travel. Pay more attention. You should write if the flight travel gains a lot of popularity, what is the advantage? If flight travel gains a lot of popularity, what is the disadvantage? Pay more attention. This is IELTS. This is IELTS writing. This is why many are stuck at 6.2 because they're not able to understand what is the question, what has to be written. Question is, what is your name? But answer is your sister's name. Your name, Baba. No. I will write my sister's name because the question is sister's name. Question is not sister's name. Question is your name. Any doubts on this? Do the advantages of gaining popularity of the flight outweigh the disadvantages of flight popularity? That is what you're supposed to write. And if the question is discuss advantage outweigh disadvantage, discuss the advantages outweigh disadvantage. It's the same as advantages outweigh disadvantage. You have to write, if you say yes, you should write impactful advantages and less impactful disadvantages. But of what? Of flight travel gaining popularity, not traveling by flight. Can anyone give one idea? Advantage if, what is the advantage if flight travel gains a lot of popularity? Excellent, Neha. Many airports will open at various different locations because of the demand. So think beyond. That's exactly what, see, everyone has knowledge, but some will be able to think beyond. Some are stuck. Flight business will grow, beautiful, but I don't consider it as a very good advantage. Talk something in general, Ramesh. They may reduce the cost. Can we take this? Yes. But I think if it getting popularity, I don't think they will reduce the cost. Rather, they will do what? They will increase the cost. And so, yeah, write something which is very, very convincing. If the demand is more, they'll increase. Okay, what is, you can consider that also, Singh. Airlines will have exponential business. I don't consider that as a very good advantage. What Neha wrote, airports will open, airports will be accessible for many. What is that disadvantage if flight travel gains a lot of popularity? Quickly, if everyone goes by flight, what is going to happen? Excellent. And so, yeah, excellent. Other means of transport will be impacted. There will be very less number of people going in public transport. As a result, government, correct? Shashi, you can use that also. Air trafficking will increase, which is not good. So hope you're getting it. Read the question in the exam. This question, you just remember everything will just, you will understand. Off of flight travel, if off flight travel is not there, the question is something different. All right, we will move on. We'll take up this question. Some experts believe it is better for children to begin learning a foreign language at primary rather than secondary. Secondary schooling, 10th, 11th, 12th. Primary is up to 4th, 3rd, or 5th, or 6th. You should study a foreign language when you are at probably 8, 7 to 10-year-old, not when you're at 15-year-old is what the question. This is the entire question. Do the advantages and discuss the advantages. Talk about the advantages if children start learning a foreign language at primary rather than secondary. You have to little bit compare about secondary there and discuss the disadvantages of people or children studying foreign language at primary rather than at secondary. Discuss advantages and disadvantages. Discuss the advantage and give your opinion. We will talk about this, give your opinion in just a while. The question can be something like this. Discuss the advantage, disadvantage, and give your opinion. Discuss advantage, disadvantage. Do advantages outweigh disadvantage. 3 types can come here. We'll talk about the first thing. Okay, we'll talk about the first thing here. Discuss pros and cons and then give your opinion. Intro. This essay discusses pros means advantage, cons means disadvantage, followed by my para 2. Talk about pros. Para 3. Pay more attention. Para 4. You can do this one type of structure if it is discuss advantage, disadvantage, and then give your opinion. You can talk about advantage, para 2, body 1, body 2, para 3, disadvantage, para 4, opinion. 2-3 sentences are enough, or 4 sentences if you want. Then para 5, conclude. No, Nakul, I am not really okay with writing para 4. Then you remove that para 4. Directly para 4. Give your opinion. Little 1 or 2 lines, not just in a very small sentence, little complex sentence or 2 lines, and then conclude para 2 and 3. This structure is also fine. This structure is also fine. Any doubts, let me know. Both the structures are fine. If you want 8, I suggest para 4 and para 5 you write. I just need 7, then this is more than enough. Yes, Dharmesh, whatever you have written, you conclude. If you have written this way, while concluding, you write to conclude, it has this, though it has all these pros, it has all these cons, and so in my opinion, this is what it is. Otherwise, 4 is not required. It's okay, you've already written it. It's not a big mistake, but if you write it, it will be good. I think he's aiming for 8. All right. So that's this advantages and disadvantages, and give your opinion. We'll now talk about advantage, disadvantage. Very simple. A number of linguists believe that introducing begin learning, introducing a new language rather than secondary is beneficial. However, a bunch of people disagree. In my opinion, the pros of getting acquainted with a foreign language in early days outstrip the cons. This essay will briefly discuss the points justify my stance. We have not written anything extra. Whatever is here, we have just played around with different words. All right. So that is for do advantages outweigh disadvantage. Here you have to give your opinion. If you're not giving your opinion straight away 6.5. In the intro, you have to write what you're going to talk next. And then do the advantages, discuss advantage, disadvantage, and give your opinion. Same thing, in my opinion. Talk about your opinion. Otherwise, it is not required. You can say this essay will briefly discuss before concluding on my opinion. Directly, you can write that. No, Nakul, I will be more comfortable if I talk about my opinion in the beginning. You can write this also. I don't recommend, I wouldn't have written this, but option is there. The question is this. This essay will discuss pros and cons followed by my opinion. Or you write, this is my opinion, this essay will discuss pros and cons and detail why I believe so. Anything is fine. If you think you're not a fast typer or you cannot write fast, then remove this, but talk about this. All right, now discuss advantage, disadvantage. This essay will briefly discuss the pros and cons of this. I would have written this enough. Or if you want, you repeat the question, no issues. Any doubt so far for the intro? We have taken all these three questions, and for different categories of question, I showed you the introduction, how the intro should be. Okay, now we take them individually and talk how the body one should be. Okay. Okay, spoiler alert, I'm telling you, whatever is written here may not be 100% correct. We have used a lot of survey examples. I suggest not to use, but you can use this to understand how an essay should be written. Not the exact content. I have told you in advance only. At a very tender age, see what you are supposed to write. They should study everything, a new language at their primary rather than secondary. A child possesses great ability to comprehend means understand complex learning at a tender age, primary. During this time, supporting idea. An introduction or erudition of to learning a foreign language may seem too arduous than studying the same at secondary school. We are comparing the both. Example, many schools in India introduce French for the primary school and 95% of students aced at it easily without much difficulty. I think we have written wrong, right? At a great ability, an introduction may not seem, sorry, it may not be so difficult than studying the same at secondary school. For example, many schools introduce French at primary and 95% of them aced it without much difficulty. This entire thing is one particular idea. One main idea, supporting idea, examples. More than enough. You want to write one more? Then write. Moreover, in addition, it is also observed that learning a foreign language at a very young age will increase the likelihood of mastering the language in the adulthood. This is my main idea. Supporting, this is because due to the extra time they will have to perfect the skill. Any examples? A recent education survey. Do not write survey examples, but I'm just showing you how to write. Were introduced to foreign language at primary, spoke better in their 30s than those who had the benefit of same at secondary. Again, we are comparing. This is just to show you the structure. Don't worry too much about the content. One main idea, some supporting idea, example, conclusion. So this will say, these are the advantages of learning a foreign language in the primary rather than secondary. All right, so now we'll talk about the disadvantage. On the other hand, addition of a foreign language in the primary curriculum may lead to tremendous confusion and hence the poor result. This is my main idea. How it will lead to tremendous confusion? How it will lead to poor result? Supporting idea. This is because every other subject is taught in native language or the English, and inclusion of a new language may be troublesome for some students and they may react unexpectedly. This is my supporting idea. This entire thing can be divided into two different sentences, one simple sentence and one compound sentence. Any examples? Many words, for instance, from French have been adopted in English. So these kind of examples you write, do not write survey examples. Many words from French have been adopted in English. A child studying both these languages simultaneously may not comprehend rightly. See, this is related to confusion. Pay more attention. Essay writing is an art. Coherence cohesion is an art. It's like a screenplay in the movie. I started with it to lead to confusion, and then I did not deviate. I am coming to the same point. They will not be able to comprehend in the right way because they're confused. In Delhi, many children were observed to have scored very less. And after talking to respective students, it was revealed that low score was attributed to introduction of foreign language in the studies. But if you see here, nowhere secondary is not written. Maybe a little bit inclusion of secondary school. So it is always better to include them in secondary where students are more mature. Maybe you could have written that at least in one line. It is not included. It's a mistake. I'm just letting you know. So here we talked about one disadvantage. Here we talked about how many advantages? How many? 2 advantages. All right. Now, if the question is discuss the advantage and disadvantage in conclusion. See, I'm just summarizing the para 2 and para 3. Young brains are extremely capable since they're extremely capable of comprehending the things easily. Early age is the correct time. However, introduction of a foreign language may confuse the younger minds, eventually leading to poor result. Conclusion is very easy. Isn't it? You just have to summarize, but in 2 lines. Great. What if the question is discuss the advantages and disadvantages and give your opinion? In conclusion, same thing till here. In my opinion, I will add. What is your opinion? My opinion is they should not be even subjected to studying foreign language. Whatever you want, you can write. Whatever you want. Learning a foreign language is extremely beneficial at primary, owing to the higher fluency and mastery in the language in the later stages. Just add one line. If this is missing, then task response is not achieved, 6.5. All right. Discuss, do the advantage outweigh disadvantages? In conclusion, these young brains are extremely capable of learning, though in some cases, they find it too arduous to understand. Therefore, advantage outweigh disadvantage. Wrong. You did not even say this. See here. On the other hand, they were not able to comprehend right. You wrote a massive disadvantage. They got very less marks is very massive. And here you wrote, they mastered the skill, massive advantage. Advantage which weighs 50 kg. Disadvantage which weighs 50 kg. No, Nakul, I wrote 2 advantages. That doesn't matter. Pay more attention. You wrote massive advantage, could be 2 or 3. It doesn't matter. Here, massive disadvantage. Both are same. Simply in conclusion, you cannot say advantage outweigh disadvantage. That's wrong. Getting it? So now you have to alter the third paragraph. Hope you're getting it. The question is advantage outweigh disadvantage. Second paragraph, you write about massive advantage, which is written. Third paragraph, you don't write about massive advantage. Here also massive disadvantage. Here also massive disadvantage is written. This you have to alter it. This you have to alter it. How do I alter? Write less intense disadvantage. Anyone not understanding, let me know. So that you can conclude in the conclusion saying advantage outweigh disadvantage. Now you wrote massive advantage, massive disadvantage. Simply you cannot write advantage outweigh disadvantage. Now, however, on the contrary, some people opine that addition of foreign language in the primary curriculum may confuse. That's my main idea. Every other subject is taught in English. Inclusion of a new language may be troublesome. Many words from French have been adopted. They may not comprehend right. Till here, I wrote the same thing. And then in the advantage, disadvantage, I told a lot of children after introducing the French also, they were able to pass. Here, what I did, there is no evidence to back this proposition as the recent review states that pass percentage before and after introducing the French to the primary remain the same. In the end, I alter it, saying, no, this is not a big disadvantage. Because they did not fail. It could have confused them to some extent, but still they all passed. So it is now, if you weigh, advantage was like 500 kg. This is probably 300 kg. Now you say advantage outweigh disadvantage. You don't, this is just to tell you, convey you have written, don't write review and all this you have to write. However, there is no evidence to back this proposition, as children's mind will be able to comprehend great things at that tender age. They'll be very active. It's very clear. So mostly, most of the people pass and very few may have confusion. In that way, you have to write. Don't write recent review. This is a cooked up story. I'm just adding this recent review told and all, don't write. I've just given you some content to help you understand how the structure should be. So here and all we wrote may confuse the students. Here also we wrote it will confuse students and students will fail. Sorry, student, it will confuse students. Pay more attention. Very, very less marks. Low score and all. But now when we want to say advantage, outweigh disadvantage, we say this is not a great disadvantage. I mean, they were not able, they did not fail. Rather, there is no evidence to back this up. That means they did not fail. It is not a massive disadvantage. Now we have written massive advantages and less massive, less intense disadvantages. The ability to comprehend a foreign language easily at such a time clearly outweighs the confusion it creates to include a new language. Because though it created a confusion, they did not fail. So it is not a very high disadvantage. Few people maybe failed, but 99% of them still got through. Now you can say advantage outweigh disadvantage. So make sure you don't write equal advantages and equal disadvantage, not the number of advantage, disadvantage, the weight of it should not be equal. It should, one should be higher, one should be lower. Any doubts on this? Getting it, hope it is clear. Any doubts on this? So we discussed the advantage, disadvantage. You write one advantage, one disadvantage, enough. No, Nakul, I want to write two. Write to two or write two and one, doesn't matter. Whatever you write, idea, supporting idea, main idea, supporting idea, two or some examples has to be there. Discuss the advantage and disadvantage. Here, give your opinion, don't forget. Discuss advantage, disadvantage, just advantage, disadvantage. In conclusion, just summarize. Advantage outweigh disadvantage, write massive advantages, less intense disadvantages, and say clearly advantages outstrip the disadvantage. Any doubts? This is the base of it. And the same thing can be applicable, can be applied to problem solution. Blah, 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 blah. Discuss the problems and solutions. Intro. This essay discusses problems and solutions. Para 1. One problem. Supporting ideas in 3 to 4 sentences. You want to write one more problem, you write. Otherwise, not required. It is not mandatory to write multiple problems. No, Nakul, here they told problems. No, it's a problem. It's the problem only. It doesn't matter if you write 1 or 5. But whatever you write, you need to support it. Now, para 3, one solution. To the existing problem, I'm telling you, wrote the problem. For that problem, what is the solution and some supporting ideas. Then problem number 2, write second solution. Some supporting idea is not there, no mark. Any other question you have a doubt on, please let me know. How many examples? It doesn't matter, Jasmine. No, I mean, coin or any number of examples. It doesn't. Supporting idea, I want, that's it. Any other doubts you have in some other question, how to deal with this question? If you have any doubts, please let me know. For this question, how to write? Mostly people have confusion in agree, disagree, partially agree, advantage, disadvantage, advantage outweigh disadvantage. Does this have more advantage than disadvantage? Problem, solution. How to conclude each para? That's what here we concluded, no? See, conclusion, this is a conclusion now. Conclusion doesn't mean literally you should write in conclusion, not required. You should just end it. How do you end a movie? Something like that. When you finish the paragraph, it should be very clear to the mind of the reader. Some people end it and after the end, I get a lot of doubts. That should not happen. Unless you have a part 2 coming up. Imagine the movie has only part 1. You are the director. You're writing. You end it in a way whoever reads will not again get confusion. How this is, how this happens should not get. It is not literal meaning of IN conclusion. No, it should end it. That's it. Getting it, Amu? Okay. Madhu is asking, can we do problem and solution in para 2, then again problem and solution in para 3? Exactly. You can definitely do it. This is one part. You can write this way, or you can write one problem, supporting idea, example, Madhu, example, and then one solution, supporting idea. So there's nothing like right or wrong. Whatever is logical, whatever is rational, you can go with it. Getting it, Madhu? Siva, can I have sample essay with opinion as fourth or other than in conclusion? Yes, it is already inside best essays. Assignment, writing folder, assignment folder, best essay. If it is not there, let me know. Can we write reason and solution in para again? Yes, just it. That's what Madhu asked. You can write that. Any other question you have a problem on answer you can think of? For this question, I didn't know what to write. Question is, this is the question. What has to be written for this? Be rational. You have to reason it out for yourself at least. Be logical. Yes, Madhu, conclusion is nothing but end it neatly. That's what I meant. It's not about writing therefore in the conclusion. No, end it. There should not be loose ends. People write in a way it is not ended, but they finish the paragraph. I don't think you have a problem. Yesterday I reviewed your essay. It was all perfect. Just the ideas were wrong. What has to be written for this? Law changes human behavior. What is your opinion? How many minutes we have? 2 minutes already passed. All right, quickly. If this comes, what do you write? Tomorrow, if this comes to you, what will you write? Someone reply, please. Nehaji, Hema, Jasmine, Kumar. Kumar is very silent today. Perfect, Amu. That's it. Be rational. Be very logical. What do you say? Correct, Ansuya. What do you write? That's it. What is your opinion? Yeah, my opinion is yes, law changes human behavior. My opinion is no. Law cannot change human behavior. My opinion, yeah, to some extent it can change, and in the other scenarios it will not. So what is this essay type now? It is same as to what extent do you agree? See, it's just different ways of giving the same question. To what extent do you agree? That means you can either agree or disagree or partially agree. What is your opinion? Is same as that. Hope you're getting it right. Don't get confused. What is your opinion? What to write? It's the same question written in a different. They just twist it. They just turn the tables around. It's opinion based only agree or disagree or partially agree. They have not written it. That's it. What is your opinion? My opinion is right opinion. But in the first para intro, you have to write your opinion. You have to write in the intro whether you agree or disagree or partially agree. Then you continue to second and third para. Okay, what's the next thing? Right. Every day, right. Just watching the videos, just attending a class is a knowledge transfer. KT we call knowledge has been transferred. But in the exam, this knowledge will be useful to only certain extent. Execution skill is different. That when you write, you understand. Write every day. All right, guys, fine. Thanks much for your time and participation. Have a very nice weekend. Tuesday, we'll be back with listening live mock. Till then, take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.